Hello, everyone. This is Dina, and this is Friday night, March the 2nd. I have just finished my stitching for the evening. I've been stitching with the Off the Grid party and with Carolyn. If you guys have not joined that group, you should. And I thoroughly enjoyed watching her video tonight as I was stitching. And I have been stitching on the same piece for a couple of days now because it is a piece I was working on for a couple of different sals. The first one was the Stitch Mania sal Mythology March. And I decided that Halloween was enough of mythology for me. It's sort of mystical creatures or whatever. It's what I wanted to work on just for that event. And it also qualifies me to stitch in the stitch along that is the Halloween all year long. So I hit two birds with one stone and also got to use it for Friday night party. So it worked out really well. So I'll remind you briefly what my Halloween piece is right now. It is Halloween Tricks. And this was a cover for the Saturday Evening Post magazine. And this cover was actually published on the Saturday Evening Post on November 2nd, 1935. This cross-stitch pattern was published in 1994, so it's still fairly old, but not as old as the original magazine. But I think it's a great adaptation, and I'm enjoying stitching it. When I last worked on it, it was the start of it, and I got there's on the actual picture itself that's cross-stitched, the Saturday Evening Post runs behind this moon, and so it covers up part of the title, but the part that's showing I've done over here, and I had done that originally, and then I had started a little bit of the yellow right in here, had just gotten started with a little of the yellow, and that was my start. I am proud to say that I've gotten a little more done now. So you can see I have finished the wording on this page. I had left off with the S before and had started some of the yellow. So now I've finished the A and the T that's on this page that's showing. And I finished the yellow and I finished the cats. So I'm just working my way down this page. There are 4 pages to the pattern, and I'm actually thinking as of right now that I'm gonna stitch 1 page at a time, just the complete page, and actually have a stop and not blend it over just to do that 1 page and then go to the next one. So that'll be something new for me, but I think I'll enjoy doing that. This is actually the second Saturday Evening Post cover I've ever cross-stitched. I have one on my very first cross-stitch episode that you'll recognize. It was this one here of the cross-stitcher. And I'm about to hang her up in my new home. So that's gonna be exciting to put her back up again. She hung in a place of honor in my previous home. So I will be displaying her again. I think I have found a spot for her. So that's this piece for this rotation, and my plans for tomorrow are to start working on a new sal, actually 2 of them. Little House Needleworks sal is a series sal, and I chose to do Hometown Holidays as my series. And in addition to that, Cross Stitch Finish Line has the series sal. They call it the serial sal, and I'm using that same piece for that sal as well. And so I'll be starting my next one of the Hometown Holidays. So stay tuned. I'll come back and give you a report on it in a few days, I hope, and hope I have a finish with it before I have to move on to my next project. So I hope you guys are going to have a wonderful weekend of stitching, and until I see you again, good evening. Hello everyone, this is Dina, and today is Friday, and I just wanted to come and talk to you about my latest rotation. Today is March 9th, by the way, And I have finished up a rotation that was actually a new start for the first of the month in March for the LHN series Sal and the Cross Stitch Finish Line serial Sal. And I'm using Hometown Holidays for these two Sals. And this month, my start and finish was the pet store. And I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. I don't know if it'll focus well enough. But just so you can know, there are two puppy dogs on this side. And there's a bird here and a cat there. Which I thought was really cute that they put the bird and the cat together. And I don't know if you can tell, but this has a lot more white in it than they normally do because of the white building. So that took a little bit extra time and attention. And it's one of the first ones that I've finished since we've moved. So I'm real happy about that. So I'll show you my finish here. This is the pet store from Little House Needleworks, Hometown Holidays. There you are. Cute as it can be. I had ordered this fabric because I wound up getting it back last March at the cross stitch store there in Las Vegas, that Stitcher's Paradise that McKenna goes to. And I was there on a vacation with my sister Stephanie, and I picked up a piece to do one of her dachshund pictures in. And I used the remnants for my first 4 of these Hometown Holiday series. But this is called Autumn Fields. It's a 32 count linen, and it's just beautiful. So when I called to see if they had any more of it, they did. And I bought what they had left at that time so I could do the remaining. I think I have 9 or so to do. So I'm excited that I finished it. It took me an extra day this time. Sorry about that, but that's the way it is. Sometimes you don't get to stitch as much as you would like. So there it is. That's my finish. So a new start and a new finish for March. It's pretty awesome. I hope you're having a great start to your month, and I hope to see you soon with my next rotation. So in the meantime, happy stitching, everyone. Hello, everyone. This is Dina, and it is Saturday, March 10th. And I have been working on my Flowers of the Holy Night by Glendon Place. And I just wanted you to see what little bit of progress I've been able to make on it this month. I have to do some secret stitching the rest of the month. I'm working on a special gift. And so this rotation has been only one day. But this is the way the piece will look when it's finished. And this is what I have right now. So what I was able to finish today were just these 2 green leaves here, which finished the cross stitching of that motif. And I added in these 2 green leaves here. And so that brings me, this one's finished, and I've done up to here and here on that one. And so the next time I take it up, I'll probably try to get these pieces in there and then start on around the flower. But I love working on this piece, and I didn't want to not be able to touch it at all this month. And so I got just a little bit done, and I just wanted to show you the progress because I enjoy looking at this one. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will check in with you later. Hello, good evening, everyone. This is Dina, and it is Thursday, March the 15th, and I'm here for a brief update for you. I've been stitching on one of my whips. It's one that I've really been enjoying, and from the comments, you have too. So I'll remind you, this is what it looks like. Into the Autumn Sky. It is an out of print pattern, but if you'll recall, this one was gifted to me, and it was gifted to me with one condition, and that is that when I finish stitching it, I have to pass it along. So I've been trying to work on it every month if at all possible, because I want to be able to gift it to someone else as soon as possible. I have a picture I'll insert here of where it was when I started this rotation. And now this is where I am after this rotation. I just worked on it for 3 days, and I want you to see kind of where I am now. There she is. I had, as you recall from the previous picture, I had this first fold of that apron or pinafore in the back there, this one right here. I had that done, but I started right on the edge of it this time, and I worked up here all the way down and got the rest of the part done. And now, the next time I'm ready to work on it, I'll be doing her jacket right in here. I'm planning on waiting, as I said, I think in a previous video, to do all the little wisp and things at the bottom, the little leaves, and the all this, the little leaves and the ribbon and stuff. There's a lot of that is beaded as well as stitched, so I'm gonna wait until I'm through stitching and do that last. So I'm really pleased with this rotation because that finishes up the bottom except for one little thing, and that is the tassel that goes on right here. But it is kind of confetti heavy, and it is time for me to put this piece up. I've spent 3 days on it, and it's time for me to move on, and I would like to do that. So I'm going to call it a rotation for this piece for this time and go ahead and move on to my next whip. It is Thursday, so that means tomorrow night is the Friday Off the Grid party. I hope you'll all join us, and I haven't decided yet what I'm going to be working on for that, but I'll know by tomorrow. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. I want to just let you know that on a personal note, we've just about got everything done here except for a couple of things here in my sewing room. So I'm waiting on some picture rails to go behind me on this wall, and I'm going to display a lot of my finished framed pieces, and that way I can move them around and add to them, not worry about putting holes in the wall. So that is a good thing. But I will tell you, I had a very interesting experience this past week. On a personal note, I had my first kidney stone. Not fun. It was a very unpleasant experience. So I have become a very dedicated water drinker now. I used to drink a lot of a Diet Coke and Coke Zero. They were my favorite. I haven't had any of that now in over a week, and I think that's probably going to be my new pattern. So as a public service announcement, I want to encourage you to drink lots of water. It's good for your health, and certainly wouldn't want you to go through what I went through. It was not an experience I hope to repeat, but I am fine now, and a few of you, just a very few, knew what was going on during that time, and I thank you for your prayers and thoughts and well wishes and checking on me, but I'm doing great now, and that one's behind me, and I hope to never have another one. So, public service announcement, remember, drink lots of water. You guys have a great weekend. Get lots of stitching done. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Good morning, everyone. This is Dina, and it is a Sunday morning. It is the 18th of March, and I hope you had a happy St. Patrick's Day. I did. We had friends that came up from where we moved from, about 3.5 hours away from here. There were three couples that caravanned here and met us yesterday and took a tour of where we live and our home and our town. And then we ate on the town square in a beautiful little restaurant called Sweet Magnolias. Sandwich and soups and things like that. It was just a lovely time. And then the men sat and talked there in the area while the ladies went shopping along the square. I got a birthday present for a friend while I was out shopping, so that was wonderful. And we just had a lovely day. Just a lovely day. It was so good to see friends. So much fun to spend some time with them and share with them our new community and show them, where we've moved to. So that was a great St. Patrick's Day, I must say. So I'm here today to tell you about my latest whip. I just finished a rotation on Quaker Christmas 2. So if I have a picture, I'll insert it here. But if I don't, I'll just show you what I've done. This is where we are now. This is going to be a big piece. Y'all have seen it before, so that's not a surprise to most of you. I did 7 motifs this time. I did these 2 little bitty ones right here, and the sleigh, and then that wheel that looks like it's got a quilt motif in it, and then this large thing across the bottom here, plus this one and this one. But this was the biggest one that I did this time. But I got that done in the time that I had to stitch in the last 3 days, which of course, a couple of those days were getting the house ready for company and then entertaining the company. Or I might have made it all the way across, but I didn't quite. So I am on pages 3 and 4 because this large motif here actually breaks in here, and that's now on page 4. So this is the top half of 3, and now I'm starting the top half of 4. And I'm working on this in the 2 pages format. This piece I selected to be my journey piece. I'm a member of a local guild, a sampler guild here in Georgia, and this is probably the first true sampler I've ever stitched, and so I chose it as my journey piece this year. And the way I understand that is a journey piece is a piece that you either find very difficult to work on, or a very large piece, or it could just be a smaller piece that you really, really want to finish this year. And so you sign a contract with yourself and you set a goal. My goal was half of this for this year. Since I do have the 3 carryover whips that I want to finish this year that aren't this one, I wanted to give myself a goal I felt I could meet. And so I just chose to do half of this in this calendar year. Now, I did check last night, and there are 8 pages in this pattern. And if you just heard, I'm working on pages 3 and 4. Now I've calculated up how many motifs I'm stitching about each rotation, and it will take me about 3 more rotations to finish pages 3 and 4 if I get that much time to stitch, and if I'm, continue at that pace, which means that I could conceivably hit my goal of half of this piece by June. So that made me feel very confident that I would be able to at least get it by December. So I'm hoping to hit my goal and maybe even surpass it a little bit this year. But it gives me a breather, a little breathing room with this, so that I know I'll make my journey piece goal in the calendar year without having to really sweat it too hard, just to keep going as I'm going and not make it a piece that I feel like, oh, I've got to work on or I'm not going to make my goal. But how fun is that? It's the first time I've ever done that. I've never even heard about a journey piece before. But I think this is a great one to do. It's going very nicely. It's very pretty, and I want it for my home, and so that will help me get it further, down the road. I hope you've had a good first half of the month. I have plans for the last half of the month, and if I stick with them, I will have a big surprise for you at the end of the month. So I'm not going to tell you what I'm planning. I'd rather it surprise you. And I just wanted to wish you all a very happy Easter, because I'm going to close the video after this update and go ahead and try to get it uploaded and get it out there for you to see the last few whips I've worked on. And then I won't be back, with the video probably till the end of the month. So Easter will have come and gone before I talk with you, before you see a video from me again. So happy Easter to all of those who celebrate that event. We certainly do, and we're looking forward to a lot of activities in the next couple of weeks in our community and in our church. So I wish you much fun and a time of reflection and lots of stitching. So I'll talk to you next time. Happy stitching until then. Bye.